Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Sharon and Phyllis goad Martin into a confession. Thursday, April 10th, 2025. Today on The Young and the Restless, Alan confesses to being Martin after a confrontation with Tracy and the Abbotts and being goaded by Sharon and Phyllis. At the club, Tracy asks her fiancé, "Who are you?" He proclaims that she's not making any sense. She hisses, "Stop it. Are you Alan or Martin?" He says he's Alan, but Ashley tells Martin they know what happened. They know Alan died in the fall. She challenges him to tell her she's wrong. He says that's quite the accusation. Tracy snaps, "It cannot be true." Ashley confronts her tormentor. When Laurent doesn't respond, Tracy turns away. Jack asks how he could have done this to their sister. Ashley rails at him for going after her sister after making sure she was tucked away in that clinic for what he did to her. He tells Ashley she obviously needs more therapy. Turning to Tracy, he reminds her that he made her happy. He then accuses Ashley of putting these insane ideas into Tracy's head because she was attracted to him. He asks Tracy how she could stop loving him after all they shared. Tracy cries that she fell in love with a lie. Laurent protests that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. Jack says enough and urges Chance to arrest him already. Laurent balks. For what? Chance says impersonating his dead brother seems like a good start. But that's not the only crime I'm here for. Laurent insists falling in love isn't a crime. Tracy changed his life. He doesn't understand where all this hostility is coming from. Everyone knows Martin assaulted Ashley. Ashley strides over and tells him she knows with every fiber of her being who he is. When he dragged her down that hallway, God knows what would have happened if Tucker hadn't showed up. That wasn't enough for him, though. He had to go after her sister too. Through gritted teeth, she says she hopes he rots in hell. Chance wants Laurent to come with him. Tracy hollers that he abducted Sharon and Phyllis. He claims he has no idea what she's talking about. Jack tells Laurent the truth is about to come out, and he damn well be prepared for the consequences. He lunges at him, but Chance intervenes. Ashley tells him he's done hurting her and her sister. They'll make sure he'll never hurt anyone ever again. Laurent says he doesn't understand how they could misjudge him this way after how much he's loved Tracy. Tracy is horrified that she was so naive. He decides that in the interest of setting the story straight, he'll leave with Detective Chancellor. Tracy says this is proof that he's not Alan. He's more worried about how this looks than he is about her being gutted because of his lies. He insists that he loves her. Tracy asks if she was just an experiment too, seeing how long he could string her along until he broke her heart. He says, "It's mine that's broken." Tracy laughs and cries in disbelief as Chance leads Laurent out of the club. Jack and Ashley comfort her. Phyllis anticipates a confrontation. Nick and Sharon meet Phyllis at Crimson Lights, where she's anxious to hear the new information. She also asks Nick to call Summer, who needs her dad. Sharon tells Phyllis about the surveillance equipment found in the farmhouse and linked to the room they were locked in. They also found their cell phones. It's one step closer. Phyllis wants to find out which one of those Laurent twins kidnapped them and nail him to the wall. Nick explains they didn't turn up any concrete proof of identity, but they were gathering fingerprints. Sharon says Chance got a text and had to go. She's hoping he's finding answers as they speak. "How are you holding up?" Phyllis isn't well. She's having nightmares and thinking everyone she looks at could be the voice. Sharon's the same. Phyllis says they need to find whoever played God with their lives and push them to death. She needs to look them in the eye and says, "Guess what? You didn't break me." Sharon tells Phyllis to have faith. Chance is close. She points out if it turns out this was Alan or Martin Laurent, their nightmare will end, but Tracy's is just beginning. Phyllis feels so bad and hopes she's not in danger. Blame game. At the station, Laurent tells Chance he knows nothing about kidnappings, so this shouldn't take long. Chance warns him fingerprints are being processed right now. He says, "They're not mine." He claims he's Alan Laurent, though he can see why Chance would be confused after that scene at the athletic club. He reminds the cop of the Abbott family's mental health issues. Chance thinks it sounds like he's breaking confidentiality. Laurent says he just wants them to get the help they need, and insists he has nothing to hide. Chance says, "We'll see about that." At Crimson Lights, Sharon brings Phyllis a drink. She says that's so sweet. Sharon teases, "It's like I read your mind." Nick remarks that he's still getting used to them being nice to each other, but there's clearly a bond here. Phyllis says they went through hell together. She still doesn't understand why he targeted them. Sharon says her mind keeps going back to him saying he saw them as an experiment. They were like mice in a maze, playing by his rules. He messed with the wrong women. Tracy feels responsible. In the club, Tracy tells Jack and Ashley she can't believe she didn't see this in all the months they spent together. Ash reminds her he fooled her more than once. This is on him. He victimized them and left them with trauma to deal with. He's a master manipulator who is adept at stepping into Alan's shoes. How could Tracy possibly know the difference when she didn't know the real Alan? Jack agrees. The blame is squarely on Laurent. Tracy tears up and thanks them for trying to make her feel better, but she brought him there and put them all in terrible danger. Jack asks her to stop blaming herself. None of this is her fault. Tracy feels so stupid. Ashley and Jack saw how loving and attentive he was. They all bought it. Tracy cries, "Why didn't I know it was too good to be true?" If he abducted Sharon and Phyllis, she's responsible for that too. Sharon and Phyllis get their retribution. At the police station, Chance tells Laurent that he has two women out there who insist on speaking with him. He guesses Tracy and Ashley are there and says, "Bring them in. I look forward to it." But it's Sharon and Phyllis who appear. Laurent asks, "Sharon?" and claims not to know who Phyllis is. Phyllis tells him he's a piece of crap and asks, "Why did you kidnap us?" Laurent says this is all an infuriating mistake. Phyllis wants to hit him. Sharon says it's not a mistake and they came for the truth. Laurent blames Ashley's did for all of this. She told Tracy lies about him. Sharon can see he's suffering from delusional narcissism. He understands she's looking for someone to punish, but that's not him. She came to him for help to prove her innocence because she trusted him. She can't possibly believe this nonsense. Phyllis and Sharon start reciting their captor's riddles out loud and ask, "Why would you kidnap us, torture us? What was the point?" He claims he has no idea what they're referring to. Phyllis pulls out a water bottle and asks, "Do you want a drink?" She muses, "Unless you're afraid." "Are you afraid it might be drugged?" He announces he's leaving. Chance says he's not. Sharon and Phyllis keep at him about his experiment. They know he kidnapped them, and they know he's Martin the psychopath. He says Martin is dead. Phyllis wants to know why he picked them. "Did you want us to unravel? Did you want us to fall apart?" They didn't. They won, and he lost. Tracy figured out. "We beat you. We beat you." Laurent pounds the table and screams, "Enough," as he leaps to his feet. Chance braces. Sharon muses, "Seems that we've hit a nerve." Laurent claims it's just that his life has been turned upside down. He wanted to marry Tracy and came back from Paris to this. None of them has a clue what happened here. Sharon asks what they're missing. Laurent says that they call Martin a psychopath, but even he didn't understand his brilliance until it was too late. Through his own therapeutic process and by watching him practice, he absorbed the therapeutic process by pure osmosis. He wanted to prove he was superior. It was a source of conflict between them. He wrote him off, but then he saw it. Martin proved he was a genius the night he facilitated Ashley's breakthrough in Paris. He did that. He succeeded where I failed. Sharon asks if he was trying to show his genius with her and Phyllis, get them to have a breakthrough. He asks if it worked, did they solve their differences and reach a new awareness. Phyllis says, "No.
No.
Your experiment failed. You failed. Your experiment made me and Sharon hate each other more." Laurent argues that they wouldn't be there as a united front if it hadn't worked. Sharon asks if he's kidding after all the things this bitch put her through over the years. Phyllis hates Sharon even more. Laurent thinks this is reverse psychology. Sharon and Phyllis keep up the act, insulting each other and arguing at the top of their lungs. Laurent tells them this is heavy-handed if they're trying to get a confession. Chance says they don't need it. He has plenty of evidence. He hollers that they're bluffing. Phyllis taunts that no one is bluffing. His experiment failed. Your experiment failed. You're a failure. Loser. Sharon tells him Alan would be embarrassed by him. Laurent explodes. Alan? Alan. Alan wasn't worth the ink on his diploma as a therapist. He was the weak one. He had no vision. Becoming Martin, he bellows that he is the one who changed Ashley, and the two of them. They can deny it all they want, but he heightened their humanity. How can that be a crime? Turning to Chance, he says, I helped them. Phyllis tells him she has a new experiment for him. He's the lab rat. He gets to stay in a cell. You're the one who's trapped. Your life is no longer your own. Martin says they don't understand what he did for them. Sharon taunts that maybe they'll come and visit him sometime and see how he's doing. Phyllis says, yeah, maybe I'll come play a game with you. They walk out. Case closed. At the club, Ashley and Jack tell Tracy she had nothing to do with what happened to Sharon and Phyllis. Jack warns her not to add undue guilt to her plate. Ashley says if anyone is responsible, it's her. Alan is her friend. None of them knew where this was going to lead. Tracy worries this is triggering for Ashley, but her sister says she's okay. Jack suggests she check in with her doctor. Ashley agrees that's a good idea, but right now she's worried about her sister. Tracy wanted to be wrong. She wonders what they do now. Jack hopes Chance finds the evidence to hold him. Once he's behind bars, they can really start to put this all behind them. Tracy steps away from her siblings, looks at her engagement ring, and flashes to the wedding proposal. She removes the ring. At the police station, Chance places Martin Laurent under arrest and reads him his rights. Tracy rejoins Jack and Ashley at the club, and Sharon and Phyllis arrive. They tell the Abbotts that Chance let them see Martin and he confessed, outed by his own ego. Jack's relieved to hear he's in a cell. Tracy's so sorry this happened to them. Sharon says she was his victim too. Finally, it's over.